Electric drive, hydraulic drive, you've heard them both. Some companies specialize in one or the other. For Sonny's here, electric drive is nothing new. We've been building electric drive-through car washes for auto dealers and rental stores and even auction houses. That's not new for us. We've been doing that for a while. The rollover car wash, we've started that 4 years ago. We've got a number of them out in the field, all electric drive. So driving our brushes electrically, that's been done for a while. Doing it the way Sonny's does it, that's a little bit different. There's multiple reasons to be electric. Some of them are to lower your utility costs, and sometimes it's try to expand your car wash and offer a new service like an express lane, and you only have a limited amount of power coming to the building. To add another service to the building is a very large expense. If you're running hydraulically, we can certainly run more equipment electrically than we can hydraulically. So at Sonny's, everything we do here, naturally, retrofittable. My first full electric line that I did for a customer was out in Utah. A customer has been in the business for a very long time, very computer savvy, built his own controller. He wanted the ability to speed up his car wash operation from home. So with video cameras and electronic controls and VFDs, he asked me to build him a full line of electric, including the conveyor. And we did it, and it's been running flawlessly for over 5 years. And he can sit at home, and if his employees call and they're busy or he looks in the camera, he's going to call them up and say, I'm going to speed the conveyor up by 15 cars an hour. I'm going to adjust your wraparounds, your top brush, your rocker brushes, and we're going to let you roll. And he can do all that from home. So that's a very neat feature to have. Our equipment here, we've done it 2 different ways, and most of our equipment can handle both. We can do it with off-the-shelf U.S. components, as in Winsmith gearboxes that you can buy the replacement parts at Grainger, and that's the way we did all the first ones. Electric drive, again, a couple of options depending on the cost and the amount of money we can spend on a project. This is a Winsmith gearbox made in the U.S., available through Grainger if need be. This is a Maximizer series, which is white epoxy paint, which is different than you'll find on most of the Grainger stores. This is one of our SF1 brushes here, electric, that are utilizing the Flender gearbox. We put this together because in this application, in this design and format, we've eliminated the actual bearings that were supporting the shaft in the hydraulic drive unit. This is mounted directly to the top of the motor mount plate, utilizing a couple of vibration isolator pads. So as the brush gets pulled up, as it usually will on a tire of a pickup truck or in a wheel well, it's got vibration isolation mounts that'll help take the shock load away from the bearings that are in the gearbox. Doing this here will extend the life of the gearbox. It'll take the pressure off it. It'll run for a long time with headache-free, with very little bit of maintenance and very low operating costs. This is a product that's made in Canada, but it's used in a lot of rollovers and a lot of in-bay automatics and from a couple other OEMs. It's a nice little gearbox assembly because it's IP66. It's good for the wet environment. The overhung load in the bearings is good enough to support the entire brush shaft with the cloth on it. The center line of the gearbox we've maintained through the center line of the universal joint. This bearing box is designed to handle both this motor as well as with these mounting holes, our Winsmith, which is our US-made gearbox. So depending on your need or your desire, we can give you either option and do the same service. It's retrofittable. The same gearbox here is what we use for our bearing mounts for our hydraulic drive. So this is very flexible in the sense that we can use this for multiple different applications. We get all of the pieces done in the same one, so we can upgrade from electric to hydraulic or from hydraulic back to electric if we need to. Real nice piece, again, all aluminum body, watertight connection for the electrical, a nice little unit. And again, not new to Sonny's or not new to the industry. When I grew up with my dad, my job in the morning on the way to school sometimes was to grab a motor and drop it off at the motor shop because all the brushes were motor driven. The difference was they weren't direct drive gearboxes, they were coupled to a double chain and 2 sprockets. Either the chain and sprocket would break or the motor would fail, but we rebuilt these motors on an ongoing basis. That's how we ran the car wash. They left for hydraulics because it was easier to change speeds and adjust controls. It was very smooth. And now the innovation of the variable frequency drive, the simple functionality of being able to speed up or slow down a piece of equipment through a little potentiometer on the front of a motor starter makes the operation easy. Some of the smart drives can actually sense an overload and retract on a trailer hitch or on the side of a car before they cause any problems. They'll try to restart themselves again and come back to work. Our rollover's been doing that for 2.5 years. It works very well. So we don't have any downtime. We get caught on a trailer hitch, we retract, we start up, we wash again. it takes 2 tries before it'll fail and call the owner and say he's down. And because it does that, we have a better uptime percentage in our rollover than most of the others do. The conveyor, first time I did it was expensive. We used Winsmith. We designed the gearbox to be bulletproof and big and over engineered. And I've had a couple of customers ask me for it again. They didn't want to spend that kind of money. So instead of designing one myself and building components in my shop to make 2 gearboxes that were unrelated together, I called our friends at HECO. You know, we're big customers there. We do a lot of business. And I told them that we're leading towards this electric drive business. And I don't want to lose the gearbox business because the gearbox from HECO has been a great piece of equipment. They embraced the idea, and over the last year and a half, we have finally developed a HECO gearbox with a coupling that they manufacture, that they'll provide here in the US, and a secondary gearbox that we can put into any one of our Sonny's conveyors. We can actually unbolt your HECO plate, HECO drive, and bolt this unit in, take out the power pack, and put it in a motor starter, and you'll be electric drive in a couple of hours. And it runs real nice, real smooth. We can run that unit. The test unit is running anywhere from 30 cars an hour up to 160 cars an hour chain speed. Flawlessly, no problems. Again, with the smart VFD, you can actually set it, if it overloads and someone puts their foot in the brake and causes it to overamp, we can pause that conveyor and then start up again in 2 seconds. And hopefully that customers take the foot off the brake and move along, and we keep running without jumping a roller. So we have that kind of flexibility and functionality that we can build into it, and it'll be a great option. The biggest thing I see coming up is the retrofits. If you want to add more equipment and you're out of electrical supplies, this is the way to do it. And as with Sonny's, call us up. We can build you the components to retrofit your hydraulics to electric. For 2 wraparounds, we can run, with that 1 power pack, we can run 2 more sets of brushes and keep going down the line, be able to add an extra blower with that energy savings, or even an electric wheel brush if we have to. I think you'll be real happy with this. If you're interested, go online, go to sonnysdirect.com or call the 800 number and talk to one of our sales associates, and they'll help to explain it to you.